The political leader's assertion that a government shutdown could bring a lot of good, even at the expense of federal worker layoffs, represents a significant departure from conventional political rhetoric, which typically frames such an event as a failure to govern. At its core, this statement is a political maneuver that weaponizes crisis to achieve long-sought policy goals. The analysis hinges on two sharply contrasting perspectives: the political goal of disruption for leverage versus the human and economic cost of operational failure. For the leader, the good is the creation of an existential pressure point that forces congressional compliance on controversial demands, such as deep spending cuts, immigration enforcement priorities, or the rollback of specific regulatory functions and social programs favored by the opposition. A shutdown is thus viewed not as an accident, but as a deliberate mechanism to enact a reset or achieve a permanent reduction in force across federal agencies, effectively shrinking the size and scope of government to align with a specific ideological vision. This is particularly notable given threats from the administration to not just furlough, but permanently fire, lay off workers in departments that do not align with current priorities, intensifying the stakes beyond prior shutdowns. Reasons and consequences. Reasons for the rhetoric. 1. Political leverage and force majeure. The primary reason is leveraging chaos. The leader believes that the opposition will only negotiate on high-stakes issues when the immediate, painful consequence of the shutdown, like delayed public services or airport disruptions, forces their hand. The crisis becomes the bargaining chip. 2. Ideological goal of deconstruction. The statement aligns with a long-term goal of drastically shrinking the federal workforce and budget. By welcoming a shutdown, the administration signals a willingness to eliminate non-essential agencies and employees permanently, targeting regulatory bodies and social programs that are difficult to dismantle through normal legislative processes. 3. Appealing to the base. For the leader's most ardent supporters, the federal bureaucracy is often seen as inefficient, wasteful, or actively hostile. The rhetoric validates this view, positioning the leader as a necessary disruptor fighting the swamp by embracing fiscal austerity, even if it causes temporary hardship. Consequences 1. Human and financial hardship. Immediate. Hundreds of thousands of federal employees and contractors face financial peril. While federal employees are generally guaranteed retroactive pay, the delay causes severe financial strain, missed mortgage payments, lack of child care funds. Crucially, government contractors usually do not receive back pay, leading to actual job losses and financial collapse for small businesses reliant on government contracts. 2. Economic drag and instability. Macro. Historically, shutdowns cost the U.S. economy billions of dollars in permanent lost output. Essential government functions slow. Public health, food and drug inspections can be curtailed. Financial services, Small Business Administration, SBA, loan processing halts. Travel, TSA agents and air traffic controllers may work without pay, impacting morale and potentially leading to service disruption, e.g. flight delays. Data blindness. The delay of key economic data releases like the jobs report creates uncertainty for the Federal Reserve and financial markets. 3. Erosion of institutional norms, political. By celebrating the crisis, the leader normalizes the use of the government's operational health as a routine political weapon. This further undermines the integrity of the appropriations process, fostering deeper resentment and gridlock between the executive and legislative branches. Prediction and solutions. Prediction. A total, prolonged shutdown, where the administration follows through on threats of mass, permanent layoffs, is plausible. But Congress and the White House have a strong incentive to reach a compromise due to the severity of the economic fallout. The most likely scenario is 1. Short-term funding bill, CR. The government will likely be funded through a series of short-term continuing resolutions, CRs, under immense public and market pressure, temporarily averting the worst consequences. 2. Permanent risks. The administration may proceed with significant, though perhaps not wholesale, layoffs in targeted agencies, claiming the shutdown merely provided the opportunity to implement long-planned efficiency measures, turning temporary furloughs into permanent staff cuts. 3. Repudiation. Eventually, the political pain will become too acute for the majority party in Congress, forcing a vote that funds the government, likely without giving the leader all the initial hardline demands, but accepting some concessions on spending levels or specific policy drivers. Solutions to prevent crisis governance. 1. Institutional budget reform. Congress could switch to a 2-year budget cycle, allowing more time for deliberation outside of election year pressure, or implement automatic continuing resolutions that trigger at current spending levels if the deadline is missed. This removes the doomsday clock. 2. Depoliticizing essential functions. Establish statutory exceptions for funding the non-defense, non-mandatory operations critical to public health and safety, like FDA, air traffic control, to ensure these services continue regardless of a budget impasse. 3. Legal clarity on federal workforce. Congress must pass legislation explicitly clarifying that mass, non-disciplinary RIFs cannot be implemented during a lapse in appropriations, ensuring that federal workers are not used as pawns in a negotiating strategy.